So hey everyone. Now about it 2019 I actually made an rocket science video, and if you haven't checked that out, please check that out. But essentially this is going to be a part 2 of it. Technically not, but we are going to be talking about how rockets are going to go on the with their capacity of full to other planets, because we know we have only gotten to the moon. We need to go on Mars, so we are planning to go on Mars, but there are rough landing conditions there, and all of those stuff also need the fuel. And I'm gonna basically talk about what are the problems and how we can solve them on the full perspective. I'm gonna make a part 3 about all the gear and everything, landing gear and everything. But for now, I'm just gonna do this. So if you're wondering why this is a little small video, well, it's because of that. So let's get into the full capacity problem. Now, approximately, if you want to become an extraterrestrial being, then I think we know we have to get those things. Actually, I want to actually talk about what capacity we can reach right now with our fuel. Now our fuel is minimally made of hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen, oxygen, and they are the main components that drive a ship up. Because yes, our normal fuel of cars and airplanes are not enough. They have to be hydrogen and oxygen to create the burning effect of the fire behind that. Fire, of course, using the neutron law, fire pushes the object up, and of course that's the reason. So that's the reason, that's how it works. But future planes will use different things. For example, one amazing material that we need to use is hydrogen, because we already use them. We have a reason we use hydrogen, and that reason is not for fun, really. Hydrogen is the simplest compound to make at first, because it only has one neutron, one proton, and also one electron, although they can be changed depending on what happens, but technically that is what it's, if it hasn't been tampered around with. So basically hydrogen is useful not only because it helps us to move. Hydrogen and oxygen are the things that create fire, but there is a more reasonable perspective into that. While they're not pretty good fuels, you could find hydrogen stranded in the space, so you could technically get them from other planets. Although we don't have the technology yet, we'll eventually have it, and if future space travel to the moon is possible, then we're probably going to use that technology for our moon gas station. Okay, it doesn't matter now, but we're gonna get into the extremely treacherous plan and promise of Elon Musk. Elon Musk has said, although not reportedly confirmed, that actually, yes, the moon will reach a population of, the Mars will reach a population of 1 million by 2050. Although it's not a promise done yet, eventually we are gonna get to Mars, but I doubt without having problems. Although the part 3 is coming out, I'm gonna cover just a little landing problem with there. So I'm just gonna say the fuel part of that. So essentially, first of all, the problem is, fuel. The problem is that when the fuel lands down and goes almost about to down, then it starts going acceleration, and it overall isn't good. So technically, it's mainly because of the landing gear. They don't have good landing gear yet. Because of that, you couldn't also use parachute, because parachute also needs air, and well, you're on Mars, and you know the most amount of oxygen our planet contains in its atmosphere. Well, I'm gonna have to check that on Google, so let me wait. Wait, what? Google isn't working again. Guys, leave a comment below. Tell me if your Google hasn't yet gone down. Okay, like and subscribe and click the notification bell as well. But let's get back into the thing. So actually, when the landing gear happens, there is no air, and also the stones of that rusty wind technically, but well, we are getting back. So the now we are going into Neptune. Wow! Now we have actually reported Neptune back using satellites, but those satellites are different from a spaceship or anything, or rocket, because the thing is that a spaceship, technically Voyager 1, which is the farther away from us, the farthest object away from humans. Wonder why it's 1, not Voyager 2. Well, Voyager 2 I guess came late, that's why. Okay, but essentially they use very low fuel going through there, and NASA has said that Voyager 1 is eventually gonna be doing its work on its own, trying to transmit that signal to aliens that there is another life without NASA's cooperation. So I guess that's our radio technology. Have to make another video about radios and how we have to make them more useful. Now that I think about it, that may not be a good idea. That may be a good idea. Okay, I'll see your suggestions, of course, but let's go back. The thing is that we need better fuel. So what could be that better fuel? Nuclear fuel. While that may seem peculiar to you, why are you throwing nuclear waste into space? Well, you don't have to care about that. We are on Neptune, guys. We are so far away from Earth, it can't even fall down into Earth. And space is such a cold and reddish place that you can pour nuclear into it and nothing will happen. Well, I guess that's not a useful thing. Okay, now let's get into the technical things. Well, it depends what you want. There are different types of fuels for different types of modern aircraft. And this is the last segment of the video, so let me just check it out. So first segment is if you want to carry heavy loads on a heavy aircraft. So you essentially need a lot of fuel. So I'm gonna think that you won't choose radioactive on this one. Radioactive builds up over time, and if you're not gonna use it on a way like composting it out, then there's no other way you can do it. Then I will suggest, well, not fuel, but electric. But you may be wondering for a second, we haven't gone to all the way to the plane things. You might be wondering, Mihran, why are planes not electric then? Well, planes are different from rockets. Well, technically electric rockets haven't been made, but electric rockets, it doesn't matter. It is gonna be useful though. It is possible because we don't have an endless loop of lift and thrust on that electricity and the lithium battery. So it is okay. They're very light aircraft, but a very heavy aircraft, but they carry light load. I'll say nuclear for this one. Because it's a large aircraft doesn't really mean it has to have that much load. So if it doesn't have that much load, I think you wanna go for nuclear. Or it isn't designed. You may be wondering, well, that cargo ship is designed to carry that much and they won't change it entirely for the purpose of that. But some big ships are just gonna be for space travel and for really little load. So technically I'm gonna say that's the option. Well, next we come on to a problem. Light ships which needed for very fast space travel. This is the last barrier we have to find. Well, here's where we get into the problem. Well, we can give electric or nuclear to this one, but nuclear is going to build up and electric is going to be probably really less efficient, and coal isn't an option, and new world techniques aren't going to be an option anymore. So I am going to go for that problem but we're just going to say that we go for electric. Here's the problem. Even if it's a lot of electricity, we're probably going to need something called the warp drive on a fast airplane. This is something that I've talked about on many videos, and warp drive is that thing. Well, the warp drive is basically when you move faster than the speed of light, but move that space and time alongside it. So you can move faster than the speed of light. But that requires a lot of electricity, right? It will actually be really inefficient. But radioactive also will build up a lot, even more than the normal amount. But then there is coal, which doesn't do anything because it's inefficient and builds up. And then there's whatever else we can find on space, and I think that's the only option. So bye bye guys, see you next time.